The past 5 years have seen a concentration of disruptors to our practice, to our industry. AI is the latest, and for many, it's the most terrifying, but it shouldn't be. Here's why. That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast. Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams. My good friend, pleasure to see you. Come on in, sit down. I want to talk about what's going on, specifically with the threats and opportunities of AI. Before we dig in, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works, relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources out there about what you need to do to be agile, but we're focused on who you need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a truly unique and powerful force in this industry. If you love this episode, do me a favor and share it with your friends, your tribe. There's been considerable momentum around the idea that AI will replace agile coaches and scrum masters, might even replace developers. What that's created, you can see it. If you go look at your agile coach friends on LinkedIn, they've all changed themselves from agile coaches to AI experts of some sort, which hardly seems possible, but is completely predictable. Agile itself, if you remember, was a wave. It grew and it grew and it grew. And it attracted people who wanted to do that kind of work, who saw a better way of managing software and software projects. And some people just saw the money, the opportunity. There's nothing wrong with either. And in fact, it's happening again with AI. Here's what I know for a fact. With AI showcasing the potential to at least augment or greatly speed up and optimize the effort of creating software, Agile won't become less important. It'll become more important. Here's why. Because what AI is helping to do is something that computers, the internet, and all of the innovations that have happened since have done in a similar way. They accelerate change. If it really is true that you can open up a builder and prompt your way into building a finished product, that's obviously a game changer for the software creation industry. And we cannot like it all day long. But if we don't welcome it and embrace it, it's going to happen anyway. So lean back. And in the same way that streaming replaced CDs, vinyl and cassettes before it, this will change an entire industry. It could even destroy it. It's possible. We jump to our own defense and we say, well, there's always things that a human will have to do. Instinct, oversight, feel, troubleshooting, bug hunting, and we're not wrong. But the reality is there's an awful lot of functions that we don't even want to do. We consider it part of the art of coding, of making software. But if we're honest, we would rather spend our time being creative, innovating, and doing cool things, finding interesting solutions to problems, than we would commenting code. We used to have to remember to put a semicolon at the end of every line and tidy up our own pointers. We don't really have to do those things anymore, and I don't know anyone who says, oh, I missed that. This is fundamentally good news, and the right attitude is to embrace it in our approach. Will we still need humans to architect things, design things, understand our customers and their needs? Most definitely. But a lot of things will go away. Here's what won't go away, is the impact that all of this is having. And what's that impact? It's that things go faster now. This isn't always good news. We don't want to burn out always trying to do more with less. We don't want to take technical innovations and increase the amount of time that we have to spend multitasking, stretching, context switching, because those things stress us out. They take a lot of the fun out of not only life, but the work that we love, the work that we enjoy. But pay attention here. What's clear is that change is getting faster and faster, and AI enables it. Here's why that's important for you and I. The most important thing that we can do for the organizations that we serve is teach them how to move at speed. If these new technological innovations make the market move more swiftly, increase the rate of change, one thing's for sure, our companies aren't ready. Historically, there was a big tipping point when the collective rate of speed of a big organization was surpassed by the average rate of change, especially in the technology industry. We had a major movement in smartphone technology when the iPhone first came out, when 5G first came out. But now those kinds of changes, those progressions, happen more like yearly as opposed to every 5 years. And if an organization can't adapt to that change, except every 1.5 to 3 years, that company is going to struggle to keep up. They're going to burn their people out trying to keep up. They're going to make costly mistakes trying to keep up. Our job now is to help them manage that change in a way that yields more desirable results with fewer mistakes, less waste, and less human stress and destruction. That's always been our job. If I asked an Agile coach 10 years ago what's the best part about what you do, it's about enabling, wasting less time and resources, getting to value quicker, and making happier teams and people while we're in the process of doing all that. So realistically, things haven't changed. Unfortunately, the branding of the past 5 years hasn't changed either. We mistakenly assume that Agile coaches and Scrum Masters are no longer necessary, and I beg to differ. We serve a very important function. If you've been watching, you've heard me create the position of a business outcomes partner. That's the most important thing we can do to sustain our value in 2026 and forward. Make sure that the work we do is singularly oriented around value to the business. That may sound all corporate, but heck, that's who you work for. You chose that. We keep going to the well, to the banks, the insurance companies, the big 100,000-person organizations, because they can afford to have Agile coaches. Right now, they may be questioning the value, and that's why it's more important than ever to showcase the value that we provide by focusing on business outcomes. But the way we have that conversation is about asking the question, how are you going to keep up with the pace of change that AI brings? Does this mean you have to become an AI expert? No. If you want to, go ahead. And as I joked before, I don't know how anyone can be an AI expert this early in the game where there's so much confusion and so much rapid change and so much uncertainty. But the point is, getting familiar with the tech is never going to be a bad idea because it's not going anywhere. For us to lead, companies are counting on us to make our case and our value clear. It's almost like we're proposing value that the organization doesn't even know they want yet. But look at the factors swirling around in the industry. People are burning out more and more. People are terrified of AI. It's a change management nightmare. The PR is all bad and uncertain and doom and gloom. There's no standardization or centralization or singularization, yet there's no clear winner. There's no real sense of what AI is going to become. We have so many questions about guardrails, about practical uses, about accuracy. There are no answers to those questions, and companies need to find them. So what you need to realize is that there's never been a better opportunity for Agile practitioners because it is the Agile principles and practices that will help us get through this. If you can help people prioritize, if you can help them start with what we know is already working, if you can help them go first, if you can help them learn by experimenting, failing, and reflecting, then guess what? You have value. But I'm not suggesting that you must link your practice to AI or everything will fall apart. What I'm saying to you is that the new normal is rapid change, and it'll become more and more obvious that we're not good at change. We're not good at change at scale, and that's not always the easiest thing to fix. But if anyone can do it, we can. It's time to stop following. It's time to stop relying on the manifesto and the people who wrote it 25 years ago. This show has always been about creating the leadership circumstance, the mindsets and habits that will make us elite in the industry. Sought after, not just so we can get paid, so we can do work that matters to us, work that's fulfilling, that at the end of our days we can look back and say, I did a good thing here. I helped. So you can know nothing about AI at all, but you have to admit it might speed up things like, let's say, marketing. If AI can write copy for you, if it can generate images for you, if you can feed it oceans of documentation about your customer, what they like, what they love, how they respond, you can make data-based empirical decisions about what to say and who to say it to. You're going to be able to put more content, more messaging. You'll be able to get in front of your customer more often. And if you don't, by the way, everyone else who's using this tool to get in front of their customers more frequently is going to beat you. They're going to be first to the track and first to the finish line. Why? Because we fear change. We resist it and refuse it at first. Agile's always been a change management game, if you think about it. But right now, even if you're not an expert on any one given tool or technology, if you can help companies or teams figure out how to deploy this tech by getting their minds ready for a new world in which things can happen much faster than they did 5 years ago, you are still of massive value. This is why the most important thing that we can do in 2026 is take the word software out of the Agile Manifesto, the 12 principles, because it's no longer just limited to software. If you're counting on the ability to manage software development team work in order to bring agility to organizations, you're going to find yourself timing out pretty soon, if not already. So let's not fear what AI represents. If it dismantles the creation of software as a strictly human endeavor, then good. Code is code. Code are instructions. It either works or it doesn't. It either throws an exception or it doesn't. The way that it works is extremely linear and predictable for the most part. Recognize that those are the kinds of tasks and activities that are easily replaced by AI. Many detractors will sit there today and say, "Oh, but I've tried it. Oh, but I've done it. And it doesn't come anywhere close to the stuff that I can do with a can of Red Bull and a keyboard." And that might be true for now, but it won't be true for long. You're already seeing it. And it's not just AI, by the way. The past 20 years have completely changed the game of business. Imagine having to send a memo down to a typing pool, only to get it back 3 days later, and then to send it out by telegram or courier to get to the opposite coast in maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then waiting that same time frame again for the answer to come back. It's unthinkable. Well, someday it'll be unthinkable to spend a week in front of a keyboard, an entire sprint, just to make a login validation procedure. What I hear consistently about AI, what I experience for myself, is that when it does something reasonably well, it's ridiculous how fast and beneficial it will be. How this is going to take hours of work out of my day. Okay, what are we going to replace it with? Some kind of forward momentum. We have an opportunity here to help organizations figure that out. And if we don't do it, we're failing them. And then, my friends, Agile is truly dead. So let this be the opportunity, not the enemy. What do you think? Have you started helping organizations not just implement AI, but handling the shockwaves that AI has created and will continue to create as that technology accelerates? Let me know. You can reach out at contact@badassagile.com or in the coordinates in the show notes below. I thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, stay badass.